Welcome to the Ricky Mathews Show here on SuperTalk Mississippi Radio, and from the STMM Digital Studio, the digital advertising and marketing arm of SuperTalk Mississippi. The studio is sponsored by STMM, and I'm excited about them being part of this show now. And it gives me an opportunity as a former CEO of a digital media company to really sort of delve into what it is that SuperTalk has built in that part of their company. Incidentally, hope you're having a great day, and we're all watching the tropics, and hopefully we continue to do well as it relates to the tropics, and we'll stay tuned to that. And I've decided to do something important today. I'm not told by anyone. It's important to point this out. Who should be on my show? I have complete and 100% control. I'm not told what to say, what guests to have, and I can go off in any direction I want to go. It's one of the beauties of having an independent voice. So even though we're here on SuperTalk Mississippi Media, I've been given tremendous latitude by Steve Davenport, the owner of SuperTalk, and Kim Dillon, the president of the company. They trust me, and I certainly trust them. And I love having the freedom to be able to go in any direction I want to go. With that said, I wanted to actually invite the VP of Digital for SuperTalk Mississippi to join me today, James Wynne. He's been on the show a couple of times before. But the efforts at STMM Digital continue to evolve, and I wanted to actually delve deeper into the effort that they have underway inside this company. And I think you'll enjoy this. If you're a business owner, this would be a good conversation for you to listen to. And as like I've said so many times on my show recently, if you're frustrated with your digital efforts, then as a former CEO of a digital media company and having the opportunity to sort of observe what's happening inside STMM Digital, you should give them a call, because I think they can help you work through some of your frustrations and put things on a good path where you can be confident you're moving in the right direction. But without any further ado, let me welcome my friend James Wynne back to the Ricky Mathews Show. How you doing, James?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing really good. So, okay, the World Cup didn't work out for you, my friend.
No. A couple of weeks back, the English women lost to Spain, but all respect to their football team. Excellent game, and they outperformed us, and the best team won. So we move on to the men's.
Hey, so look, let's go back to something real quick. You have now been with SuperTalk for how long?
2 years.
2 years. And during that time, as part of this subsidiary division of SuperTalk Mississippi Media, you've built a list of partners and incredible capability around digital advertising and marketing. And it's been something to see, but you can proclaim from the highest mountaintop now that SuperTalk Mississippi Digital, STMM Digital, has a full service cadre of product that can meet just about anyone's needs in the digital realm.
Absolutely. From the smallest of business that are just starting up, they're having a need to reach out to the customers on a local level, whether there be a little coffee shop, an expansion to their business. They're needing a connection to the customer. And folks in our day and age, how we connect, how we bring in the content for us. We want to connect mobilely, we want to collect, and we want it to have it instantly. And we are able to do that for the smallest of businesses to the biggest of businesses across the United States.
So when we talk about digital platforms, just so that people have a sense of that, when we talk about digital advertising services, we're talking about search engine marketing. I mean, every company's got to be focused on SEO. We're talking about geofencing. We're going to break some of this down here in just a second. Social media marketing. We're talking about other types of pay-per-click advertising. We're talking about content creation, which, content marketing is a huge thing these days. Website design. There's so much more to it than that. But there is, for a company like SuperTalk, you've got to find various partners that can help you achieve the goals of delivering for advertising customers. And you've done a really good job of sort of putting together this team of partners that can deliver, haven't you?
Absolutely. We have phenomenal partners across the spectrum. And creative. You've got to form an excellent creative team. You need insight on industry changes, and it's not just the digital platforms. It's the oil change and your local oil change place. You have to understand their industry. You have to understand furniture stores industry and how their connections are happening to their customers. So having partners that you rely on for insight and to understand market changes from here locally in Gulfport, but also in the Delta, also in Oxford and Corinth, Mississippi. And one of the good things about this company is its connection to community and the state of Mississippi. I know you also have your outdoor show and how it connects to the fishermen on the Gulf Coast out into the Gulf. And then you're up at your cabin in the Delta with hunting your hunting buddies. And so that connection is really what SuperTalk is about. It's in the communities of Mississippi, from the Mississippi Gulf Coast to the state capital in Jackson, Macomb, Brookhaven, Meridian. All touch points that are very strategic, because we understand for the business of Mississippi what our customers are experiencing, and on the foundational level, how we can assist the smallest of companies, but also how we can give insight and strategies to the biggest companies that now are deploying all over the country.
You said it well. I think, as I like to say, that SuperTalk Mississippi media has a unique advantage because it's combining the power of radio advertising, and I'll break that down a little bit, and we talk a little bit more about that, to what is really best-in-class digital solutions. So when you bring all that together, it allows you to target audiences in a very specific kind of way. If you think about Steve, I've said this many times on the show, but Steve Davenport built this innovative company of 26 radio stations, and then they have a news network that goes out to 51 radios, total of 51 radio stations, and they have the ability to do advertising across a wide network. 12 radio stations are part of SuperTalk, the actual SuperTalk network itself, and these are geographically located all across the state. And then on top of that, you got music radio stations that are of various genres. WCPR, The Monkey, others here in coastal Mississippi are examples of that. But when you bring a best-in-class digital capability with the ability to target demographically through a wide range of radio stations, not just locally but across the state, it is a real competitive advantage. And you've had tremendous success with that, haven't you?
We absolutely have, and it's down to having insightful teams that are strategically located. So there's a true understanding of the market of Macomb, Mississippi. There's an understanding of Greenwood and its challenges and its business that comes to the area and its opportunities. Growing those individual markets is what's important to Steve. He did build this network because of his love of the state. He did build this network because of how he was embedded in the communities, and from the baseball fields in Pascagoula named after his dad. This is a person that really resonates the story of Mississippi, and having a company that is now able to not only have the megaphone of radio and broadcast to every county and spread the word of news and sports and what's important to the communities in each individual market, but it's also now connecting those folks to customers outside of Mississippi with its digital arm and to bring more business into the state of Mississippi. Couldn't tell you how important it is to have that local element across the state.
You think about radio, you think about driving engagement, you think about creating broad awareness. And then when you think about digital, you think about very specific demographics targeting. You think about, driving conversions. We'll explain what some of that means here in just a second. I think I heard early on about some political success you guys were having in combining these powerful media together. And when we come back on the other side, we'll talk a little bit about how the political was utilized as it relates to digital and radio sort of integrating together. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue our conversation with my friend, James Wynne, who is the Vice President of Digital for STMM Digital. We'll see you after this. Welcome back to the Ricky Mathews Show from the STMM Digital Studio, the digital marketing and advertising arm of SuperTalk Mississippi Media. And actually, the Vice President of Digital for STMM Digital is actually with me today. And we're breaking it all down because I want you to understand more about what this incredible company is all about. But when we went to break, we're talking about this competitive advantage of combining sort of the power of radio with best-in-class digital solutions. And I mentioned a political strategy that SuperTalk rolled out that has gone really well. And one of the points I really want to make sure you hear is that if you go do a combination of digital and TV, it's extremely expensive. If you go do a combination of digital and newspaper advertising, it's extremely expensive. Radio actually is an affordable way to get a lot of impressions. And then when you combine that with digital, it really, when I say best in class and unique competitive advantage, I really do mean it. As a former newspaper publisher who was a CEO of a digital media company, to see the power of radio, its ability to turn on the dime, the lower production costs, in some cases no production costs. I mean, it's an incredible capability. And the other thing that I've learned is that radio is very much alive and well. You look at some of the most recent data that's come in for the coast market and look for very specifically to something like WCPR, and number one in the most important demographics in coastal Mississippi, and the list goes on from there. But hey, talk to me more about how you were able to use an integrated strategy, James, on political.
It's here's my third Delta, the Delta Mississippi reference. I'm not sure why this is on my reference, but we're planting the seed, right? Yes. So radio does that so uniquely. You can close your eyes and you can have production that's Madison Avenue production on radio, produced here locally or in the local markets across the state, and you're diving into the theater of the mind of folks. You close your eyes and you hear the sizzle of a steak. You can picture that steak. You hear the rev of an engine. You can see that Dodge Charger. So the radio really connects to a branding opportunity for marketers. And in this sense, when you're referring to political candidates, okay, now it becomes, how can I connect with my most important constituents? How am I able to connect to them, message them, give them the reason why I should be your candidate of choice? So you dive into who are those voters, and what we like to say is now we put that yard sign in your living room. So as you may know this, I know my wife is listening right now, and I'll tell her while she's scrolling through her social media plans while we're watching our shows on television and we're watching our streaming services and going over our show of the week that we're going to watch together. She's engaged. So the opportunities for in her political sense, for her candidates to reach her there's so many platforms that she's engaging, news services, her social platforms, that they're able to message, say, I'm your candidate of choice. And we were able to do that with a tremendous amount of success for our candidates.
James, James, when you think about it, you think about, and sort of at the core, what you were just talking about was the ability from the radio side, we get extensive data about demographically who's listening. You combine that with the ability to segment audiences in digital, and you can really begin to put things together in a way that says, okay, is this your targeted audience? Okay, then here's the combination of media that we recommend for you, and we do so in a way that is extraordinarily cost effective. And I think that's one of the things I really wanted at a time when inflation's a big issue for our potential advertisers and advertisers, the companies that are out there trying to make ends meet. You want to find affordable approaches to combining these media together. And again, the power of radio with the digital capabilities, you're able to do this in a very affordable way compared to what other media might bring to the table.
Right. So customers have a challenge. I have so many people hitting me up. Their phones are ringing on a constant basis from outside of the state. Try this, do this. And they're very unsure and untrusting on the fact that, is this the best option for me? I hear about it. The ability for STMM Digital and the SuperTalk platform, bringing everything in-house, that you're able to deal with one person in your market that understands your challenges and economic challenges of your community, and you're able to work through their challenges based off of their unique need. Because everybody's different. My coffee shop is different in Gulfport as in the coffee shop in Brookhaven. There's differences. The community is different. So having a team that understands that you hire our team, they're an unpaid employee for your company because of the insight. You're not having to hire a social media person, a search person, a digital deployment team. We are one-stop shopping for a lot of customers.
Well, that's a great point, actually. Thinking about what you just said as it relates to sort of a single point of entry for both radio and digital advertising. It's going to give you the chance to do seamless coordination and integration of the campaigns together. It's going to give you the opportunity to really focus on brand consistency. All these things that I'm talking about are really hard if you're dealing with separate media. You got separate, different, conversations that are taking place. But I think it's a big advantage, though, when you have the convenience and the efficiency of having a single partner to work with for both radio and digital. And that's the point that you're making, isn't it?
Absolutely. So look, when I'm combining the radio and I'm looking for web lift off of my search campaigns, these are all integrated for a local advertiser. And what's apparent in this journey is making it simple to understand. This is honestly, it sounds overwhelming to a lot of people in the beginning, but when you have a team that can put it on a level that's easy to understand and speak to the need of the customers and look at what is it conversions we're needing. Are we looking for butts in seats? Are we looking more traffic to our website? And how you're making the connection of your media to show the data increases and then reporting all those measurables. It's so important to have it all in a nice, understandable conversation. It's not something, the biggest fear for local advertisers, this is way over my head. I'm just going to always do what I'm comfortable with. But taking the time to explain, our team does it monthly, face-to-face, and educate. So here's why you're optimizing the back end of your websites. What's the importance of being on the first page of Google? It's 96% of the folks don't go to page 2. So We've got to get you competitive and understand how that affects your business and bottom line. What percentage of that increases your dollars? What does reputation, how are you looking at your Google reviews, your Facebook reviews? How is 1 star affecting your business? You're looking at 10% of your income being affected by a 1 star rating, and it's real, because look at how you activate your family and where you make your decisions. And I know this is the anniversary of Katrina, but for me, it was preparing. So I went out and bought a generator. But what did I do? I considered the reviews. It was very important to me to have a good product that was going to be efficient when I needed it. And today of all days, it's very pertinent. It's important to us on the coast. I was here also. I've been here for 30 plus years. And so I know to be prepared. And that's what's important for the customer. Have them understand how that connects, how a Google star connects to their business, and how reputation is important. So there's, as we go through all of the tactics, we want to make it relevant to their business. I don't want to speak over everybody's head. SEO is phenomenal and it sounds great, but what does it mean to me? And that's what we work through our customers to explain those things and how it relates to their business.
We are visiting with James Wynne, who's Vice President of Digital for STMM Digital. It's the digital marketing arm of SuperTalk Mississippi Media. And, digital, when you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's complicated. It's hard to get your employees trained up on this. It pays to have a partner that has developed a cadre of partners that have very competent and up-to-speed people on every single digital platform. We're going to talk about that here when we come back from break with James. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to the Ricky Mathews Show from the STMM Digital Studio. I'm visiting with actually the Vice President of Digital for STMM Digital, and we're actually talking about the digital marketing world and how I believe SuperTalk Mississippi Media has a very significant competitive advantage by bringing really affordable ability to create multiple impressions across many demographics, across multiple radio stations, and also bring best-in-class digital capabilities all at the same time, not just in local markets across Mississippi, but really across Mississippi. And it's very, very important. When we went to break, I made a point, actually, James, that for a small business, and really, I would actually say this applies to a large business as well. I don't care what kind of business you're in. You could be in the heavy equipment business, or you can be, a one-man operation trying to do service industry. It's nearly impossible. I'm not saying it isn't impossible. It is completely impossible, but it's nearly impossible to build internal capacity around all of the digital platforms that you need in order to hit on all the cylinders. And that's why you really need to look to someone to work with you. And that's why SuperTalk Mississippi Media has become sort of a multimedia company, building this arm of their company with, again, best-in-class digital capabilities. And the people that SuperTalk has amassed, the partners they've amassed, they're doing their homework. We're doing the homework inside our company. We're doing it through our partners to build capacity that is up to date. Because here's the other thing. It's changing every day, isn't it? Isn't it, James?
Every day. There's a new algorithm from Google and Facebook that, and your websites are being, you needing to optimize your websites on a monthly basis. It's not, if you build it, they will come. You need to be relevant. And that relevance is something that needs to be constantly adjusted through the back end of sites and through your posting on social medias. There's a strategy to it all, Ricky. You know that,
And you know what? Ultimately, what happens is that, and this is true with whatever you do, whether you're going to buy meat at a local, butchery, or whether you're, getting your appliances, work done. it's all about trust, developing a trustful relationship with the person that's bringing these capabilities to you. And that's especially true as we talk about the multiple possibilities as it relates to digital platforms. You need somebody you can trust. And that's what I like about James. He brings the ability to communicate very clearly to people, and he really understands what he's bringing to the table. But James, the thing is though, it's hard for a customer, as we were pointing out, to build that internal capacity. So they've got to be able to trust you. Now, let me explain. Without mentioning any names, I recently sent to you the name of a business that is a friend of mine, somebody close to me. And they're currently working with another company on digital. And I asked you to do a quick assessment of that company. And again, without mentioning any names, what did you find when you did the assessment of that company in terms of their intranet sort of audit?
So we have some proprietary technology that allows us to look behind the curtains of a company's website, social media, search, imprint. And what you find is something as basic as my information about my business, my address, my phone number is not accurate across search engines. So there's multiple search engines where people are connecting mobilely, people are connecting on laptops and tablets. And if I can't bring them to my location, or if I don't have a number, the frustration level is about this much, and I'm not going, and I've lost a piece of business. Back in our day, Ricky, it was the phone books, right? If your phone number was wrong in the phone book, you'd be screaming and yelling at the yellow pages because I'm done for 6 months or a year, as how they brought those books out. So, and today it's, if your information is incorrect across multiple search engines, that is your foundational piece that you start with to look at. So they do have challenges. And so again, without saying the name, then now I look at mobile speeds of uploads to your website. Are you integrated mobilely? Across, everybody that's listening right now has their phone right next to them, hearing it ding. So this is connected to us. And so we need to be optimized on mobilely for our websites. We need speeds, loading speeds. It's very important for your customer to be able to contact you as quick as possible for them. Their patience levels, as our society goes, or it's wearing thinner and thinner, as I say. We don't have much patience, and I could be guilty of that.
Hey, listen, but James, though, just to add to that, just to tell you my personal situation, I spend a tremendous amount of time on my phone, reading everything I can get my hands on and all these different newsletters that come to me. But when I click on something, if it doesn't load rapidly, dude, I move on rapidly. And I think a lot of people do, don't they?
Absolutely. You're gone. So we look at those 2.3 seconds of mobile download times, and we look at sites that have the ability to connect to folks. And if not, we make suggestions. What can you do? What are the back end descriptions of your website telling customers? How are you relative to their search? This is all about what you're typing in to what information that comes back to you. If you're not relevant and you're not optimizing your website, you can find that. And when we do find that, we make suggestions, and these are quick fixes in some cases. Some, it's a whole revamp of a website. If your website's 3 years old, every year is like 10 years of your life. So now I'm a 30-year-old in 3 years and I haven't touched my website. Well, Google and Bing, and they're all judging you, and you're not optimizing it. That means you're falling down to the second, third, fourth page, not relevant in my search anymore. So how much does that cost me as a local? What does it mean to me? It means lost revenue. And so I need to optimize, maximize my revenue. And how do I grow? I'm still spending the same amount of money. I just need somebody to help me with those tweaks.
So, James, I know.
Simple.
So, James, I know with this proprietary software that you're using to do an assessment of sort of what someone's digital footprint looks like. One of the things that you're looking at, I would assume, because I haven't seen the actual software that you're using, is has an application to reputation management. In other words, you're looking at, are they focused in the way they should be on what their ratings look like in various locations?
Absolutely. That's one of my top 4. Do you have a great reputation? Are you 4.6 or higher? If you're not, then we need to have a conversation about how you interact and respond to those comments. And your customers, your folks listening today is going to say, well, I can't control what people say about me. Well, there are ways to actually have conversations and make sure that your reputation is protected. There are ways. We're encouraging reviews, how the strategic way to increase the amount of reviews that you get will help your review rating.
Yeah.
You should be proud of your product. You should be careful and protect your reputation. And that's just not just with your business, with yourself personally. We're all very, very, very conscious of that. So your business, take what you do personally and understand how that relates to your business, and how just on a simple whim that I look at a 4.0 and I see you have 38 reviews when I'm looking right next to your competitor who has a 4.6 and 500 reviews and everybody loves you. Where are you shopping? And it's just the reality of today. I can't, the word of mouth is the review. How are you being judged? And we're in a very judgy society.
Hey, listen, as I have learned throughout my career, the fastest way to overcome negative reviews is to engage as many new positive reviews as you can possibly get. Because then you get, that helps the number rise and it helps the negative review fall. And that's just kind of the reality of reputation management. The best solution in reputation management is more positive content. The more positive content you can make and create, the better off you're going to be. Hey, listen, when we come back on the other side, we'll continue to have our conversation with the Vice President of Digital for STMM Digital, James Wynne. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to the Ricky Mathews Show from the STMM Digital Studio, and I have my friend James Wynne, the Vice President of Digital, actually, from STMM Digital, which is a subsidiary of SuperTalk Mississippi Media, and they bring this best-in-class digital platform. And when combined with the radio footprint across the state of Mississippi, all the different genres of music, the 12 stations that are part of SuperTalk Mississippi, and then, of course, the other stations that are part of the various networks that SuperTalk has. The combination of all those things together create a real competitive advantage for SuperTalk. And we're talking about how digital connects to the radio in this conversation. Listen, when we went to break, I love the idea of a proprietary audit. Something that a customer can actually request. And in this case, again, coming back to the customer, again, who will remain nameless, that I asked you to do sort of take a look at their digital footprint. You did an audit on them. What you discovered was they have some holes. And they're already working with another digital company over here, but that digital company clearly is not minding the P's and Q's. We find that a lot, actually. Digital companies will come in, they'll promise the moon, they'll get the basics underway, and then the professionals will walk away, and then someone's not minding the store. And in order to really pay attention closely, the metrics, the insights that you get, you got to pay close attention to that, man. And you spend a lot of time going over the metrics with customers, don't you, friend?
Every month we're reporting the measurables for the customers, from understanding the phone calls to web hits to to the butts in seats, the conversions, and technology's fantastic. I can put coding and pixels on back of ads. So when they do walk into your restaurant or your business, or in our case, when we're marketing CPR Fest for Live Nation, we're able to connect to that ticket purchase, and that ticket purchase going to the Coliseum and seeing the fans and actually having the measurables of the connection from the ad, seeing the pathway. And with our bigger partners that we deal with, that we partner with, when you're having a discussion on their entire digital imprint, you're able to see the movement of their customers, make suggestions in tactics, and pivot quickly. Their ability to understand their business from their view, so looking at it through their goggles, and being able to pivot and suggest and say, hey, listen, your engagement with these ticket purchasing in Slidell, we're having great growth of sales there. So let's look at Covington. Maybe we need to look at Mobile. Or maybe we look at Hattiesburg, and we test market and we see success, and we show them and have those conversations on a monthly, weekly in some cases, depending on the need of the customer. It's really important to be insightful and to be there, because again, we should be considered the unpaid employee. That's
Hey, listen, I know one particular customer you worked with, a very, 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 very big customer. I mean, you were even doing some of this daily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Daily to hourly.
Multi-state. That's the beauty. See, what's interesting is the digital platform for SuperTalk is the world, really. While we have the radio stations, and you can, if you do business in Mississippi, you can tightly connect the digital capabilities to the radio stations. But if you're a multi-state organization that's looking to have a digital footprint multi-state, I mean, our ability through our partners to deliver anywhere in the United States, demographics or whatever else you want to deliver, is phenomenal, isn't it, James?
Yes, I look at our customers, and for us to be sitting face to face in their office is so important. It's so important for us to go over the back ends of the data with them. It's so important to see the company grow, that we've built the companies across Mississippi that just need someone to handle their business on the digital platforms for them, but also want to know and for you to tell them that you're great stewards of their dollars. If I'm looking, I have a company now that we're building his company, and it isn't a Mississippi option for him. His business is not selling to Mississippians. It's for St. Louis and Dallas and Houston, and his products on a mass scale are going to be needed to be bought in pallets and massive amounts, and how he can make the connections and how he is doing that right now. And the study, like you said, daily, sometimes it's hourly, because we're looking at sales changes, and we can turn it off and turn it on quickly.
The world is all about conversion, and the reality is we have the tools now to really understand the link between your marketing dollars and sales. So I would encourage you to reach out to your local salesperson at SuperTalk. They can arrange a digital audit with James Wynne, and get the ball rolling. You won't be disappointed that you did that. James, thank you very much, my friend.
Ricky, thank you so much.
Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.